The question that a lot of Gen Zers have on their minds is this: can I afford to live on my own? One alarming statistic showed that 33% of Gen Zers age 18 to 30 are living with their parents because they can't afford the high rent.
Here, okay? I work 5 days out of the week, 40 hours a week, okay? I do not make enough to live on my own. I would not make enough to pay rent, water, electric, and eat.
But is this really the case? In today's video, I'll share a cost of living calculator that you can download and use to see exactly how much you need to make based on the cost of rent, groceries, and other necessities. Check out the link in the description. This worksheet puts the control in your hands. You will know how much you need to make to afford the apartment you want, and also you can see how your spending in different area affects the big picture. Now, in my last video, I discussed how much money you need to make to live on your own using average cost in Dallas, Texas, and you can check it out right here. But maybe you found a cheaper place or different expenses, and you're asking, how much do I really need to make based on my situation expenses? Today, I'll show you how to use this calculator to input your actual expenses so you can see what it takes to cover your costs and still save money. Welcome to the Adulting Academy. Subscribe so you don't miss any of the videos that will give you the tools for success and the power to take control of the future. From career planning, resumes, interviews, to the job search, you'll find it all here. This tool lets you input your specific expenses, helping you figure out exactly what income you need to live comfortably. Let's get started. After my last video, I made this to give you a tool to use so you can plug in your actual numbers to see what your expenses are. Now, we'll start with the biggest expense, which typically is rent. Now, you may have found a place that's a lot cheaper. It may be a little farther out of town. It may be a little bit older. Or you may have a roommate. So let's plug in some different numbers to show you how that changes your hourly pay rate that you need to have to support this. So in this example, was the average cost based in Dallas, you can see is a $1,500 a month rent, and you would need about $23 to $24 an hour to be able to cover that expense. And that's including taxes and a lot of extras. But you may say, that's not me. My rent's not that expensive. I don't spend that much on groceries. So let's play with some numbers and really see what that does to our pay needs. Because again, $24 an hour might be a little bit harder to find than a lower job, sub $20 an hour job. So for the first one on housing, let's say you've found a place that's a little bit cheaper, a little bit older, and the rent is only $1,000 a month. So you can see that took our $24 an hour need down to around $20 an hour. Not bad. And you can say, okay, my utilities aren't going to be that high. We're going to plan for $150. Groceries, I don't spend $400 a month on groceries. I only spend about $300. Okay. So miscellaneous household, and we're going to leave that in there for right now. That's just all those extras that you need, like toilet paper. Car insurance, again, that one varies. I'm going to leave that one the same right now. Cell phone could go up, could go down. You may have a car payment. You can plug that number in right here. But you can see just from changing groceries and housing, our $24 an hour job just now went to $19.64 an hour job. Quite a big difference. So there's almost a $5 difference in pay that you would need to live in $1,000 a month rent house versus that $1,500 a month rent. Now, so those variables keep changing as well. So that eating out could go up, could go down. Internet could go up, could go down. Gym, entertainment. All these things are variables, and you can plug these in. So this is one I wanted to make sure that we really talked about, as well as the student loans. You may not have a student loan, so that doesn't apply to you as well. So now we've taken down your pay rate that you need to support this lifestyle down to $18.31 an hour. Again, so that's almost $6 an hour less than that higher rent, the higher groceries, as well as that student loan and some other things. So you can see the variables are here. What you can do is take this worksheet, plug in your information. This is basically a budget in reverse. You can plug in your information of how much you're actually spending or how much you expect to spend, and you can get a realistic figure of how much do you need to make. Bottom line, again, this one is what you really need to look at. Down here at the bottom is the total with your taxes and insurance. And again, Your tax rate may change. You can change that as well. And your insurance rate may can change, and you can change that. So we went real quickly from a 24-hour dollar demand to be able to support that lifestyle of a $1,500 rent to now to an $18 will be able to support that cost of living that you have right here. Again, as things change, go in there and plug them in. The biggest thing that you have to do is you've got to make sure you know where your money's going. Those people that say they just can't afford rent, I guarantee you they're probably got high expenses on entertainment or gym or eating out. Those costs are controllable, right? You can control what you have. You can control your housing. Let's look and see if you had a roommate, just for example. So $1,500 rent, and it'd probably be a little bit higher if you had 2 or 3 roommates. So let's say $2,000 is the rent, and you're going to take that and you're going to divide that by 2. Now it's $1,000. So let's look and see you have 3 roommates. Now your rent's going to be higher, so your rent's about $1,900 a month, but you divide that by 3, now your rent is only $633 a month. So let's see what that does. Now we've taken your cost of living that you need to make down to $16 an hour. That's very doable, very achievable with all these numbers that we have factored in. We've still got utilities at a pretty average rate, groceries. Let's make that $400 a month. So that now you need $16.54 an hour to be able to support uh, almost a $2,000 a month apartment with 3 roommates and still have the lifestyle that you want. So again, there's ways to do this. You just can't look and say it's too expensive. There's ways to do it, and nothing really has changed over the years. Most people couldn't afford to live right when they first got out of school by themselves. They had roommates. They found a cheaper place to live. There's so many different variables in there that go into fact about can you afford to live on your own. The answer is yes, but it's going to take some work. I hope this worksheet is a tool that you'll use to be able to plug in the numbers for your personal situation and make it see what you need to make per hour, per year, and to stay ahead and not get behind or go in debt. Again, I think we've accounted for most all the variables right here. Let's just, for instance, let's just go right back and we'll plug in that $1,000 a month rent. And then you got about a $19 an hour job. Again, this is assuming you're working 40 hours a week. Maybe you have a side gig or whatever to pick up, but you need about $40,000 a year or $19 an hour to be able to support a $1,000 a month rent with pretty high groceries, pretty high. We've got even gas and transportation involved in there, cell phones, eating out. Play with all those numbers, and these numbers change dramatically. Take a look at it. If you have any questions, be sure to drop me a comment, and we'll be glad to answer and get back to you. But again, you're in control of your future. You can take care of this. You can manage. You can afford to live on your own, but it's going to take planning and preparation and being able to take a look at your numbers and know where your money's going every month. So there you have it. Now remember to get your free cost of living calculator in the link. Take control of your future and be prepared for the next chapter of your life as you enter the working world. With careful career planning, preparation for the workforce, and seeking after those in-demand skills and experience, you can live the life you want. Check out this video about the cost of living in Dallas.